They're strictly for business. All right, so one of our main topics today, and we'll check the text messages some more as the show goes on, but I'm curious to get your insight on this. So I read an article from Bucky Brooks this morning. Does stuff for Fox, does stuff for the NFL Network. And the title, Scouts Missed on Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. How Chiefs and Eagles' big bets paid off. Of course, the Eagles' bet was they just signed Carson to the extension, and they drafted him with the second-round pick where they could have used a lot of players. Receiver, corner, edge rusher, safety. Like, there was a lot of areas of need for the 2020 Philadelphia Eagles. Backup quarterback was not one of them, but they drafted Jalen Hurts, and look how it worked out. But the final paragraph from Bucky is amazing to me. With Sirianni also willing to think outside the box when building an offense around a franchise quarterback, Super Bowl 59 represents a chance for the football world to embrace different types of playmakers at the most important position in the game. Given the individual and collective success of Mahomes and Hurts, the trend of unorthodox quarterbacks dominating the game will continue in 2025 and beyond. Now, Patrick Mahomes, class of his own. Back in the day, Tom Brady, class of his own. But Bucky Brooks is basically making it out to be like, hey, Jalen Hurts is one of those quarterbacks where you might want to find a guy like him, which is amazing considering what is talked about with Jalen Hurts nationally, sometimes here locally, where it's borderline disrespectful at times. And yet here we are, second Super Bowl in 3 years with Jalen Hurts as the starting quarterback of the NFC team.
Well, I agree with Bucky, but now I'm curious to hear what his analysis was during that draft, because now it's a lot of folks are singing a different tune. Now, full transparency, I'm going to pat myself on the back here. I was a senior draft analyst at the time for Pro Football Network, and I actually wrote a story leading into draft night about 4 players that I believed could warrant first-round consideration, 3 of which ended up going in the first round, but Jalen Hurts was my 4th.
Wow, first round.
And I explained why. There are certain intangibles that he brings, and pedigree, and winning, and protecting the football, and doing all those things that you need to be an effective franchise signal caller. And I knew that, yeah, he did have some shortcomings in the draft, but if he was able to get in the right system with the right coaching staff, he was going to figure it out. Nothing matters more to him than winning.
Right.
He selfless leader, and that's the thing. I came away very impressed with his leadership, and that's the kind of quarterback you need in today's NFL. The league's changed a lot.
Right.
Gone are the Brett Favre, the gunslinger quarterbacks that kind of just throw it up there. You need to be more conservative. You have to be a dual threat. Jalen Hurts considers himself a triple threat, the third threat being his mind. It's a rare quality, and I think that all those different things are appealing, and that's why you're going to see more teams look for players of his skill set.
So why is that? Is it because of defenses nowadays? Obviously, it's the bend but don't break. I mean, Vic Fangio's not the only one that's doing that. We saw Jim Schwartz win a Super Bowl with it not long ago here in Philadelphia. Is that what it is? Like, why is the gunslinger gone, and you have more so the careful quarterback, the game manager, which I say in a positive way. I'm not anti-game manager. If somebody hears game manager, I know a lot of people get upset when you hear that. Jalen Hurts is the prototype of game managers, and I love that.
Yeah, and he also has the ability to do a lot of different things on the field. He can gash you in the running game.
Yep.
And we've seen, like on that 4th and 5, that he can throw a dot down the sideline to his wide receivers. I just think that today's approach, because teams are so more apt to take the football away, there's a lot more athleticism on the back end, and they can really make you pay for it and flip momentum, that it really puts into perspective how critical it is, ball security, turnover differential, and Jalen Hurts is very aware of that, and I think that he puts that first and foremost in terms of his priorities. And I think more quarterbacks, you're seeing that, the Brock Purdy's of the world.
Yeah.
You can go down the list. There's a lot of quarterbacks that sort of embody that.
Yeah, it's weird, though. You say if Jalen Hurts finds the right system, he could be a good NFL quarterback.
Coaching. You have to be you have to have good coaching.
Think about his coaching. He's had how many different offensive coordinators? You start off with Doug Peterson. You move to the Shane Steichen, Nick Sirianni hybrid. You shift to Shane Steichen only partway through that first year and then the second year as a starter. Then you go to Brian Johnson. Now you go to Kellen Moore. And all the guy has done, like even with the collapse of last year, look at the amount of games they won in the regular season. This dude has won with multiple different systems, multiple different coaches, different types of game plans. That may be underselling him a little bit.
Well, I think adaptability is certainly one of the more prominent traits of Jalen Hurts, Connor. But I would also say that he's also had certain quarterback coaches, like he's learned something from each coach. They've surrounded him by and large with good coaches. Brian Johnson got the most out of him in 2022. Kellen Moore and Doug Nussmeier have done a wonderful job with him now. You talk about Shane Steichen. He's had a good amalgam of coaches that have really helped shape his game in different ways. And I think right now you're seeing a finished product. You're seeing a quarterback who's evolved and grown over the years, taking something from each coach.
You're listening to 97.5, the Fanatic WPN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. It's Kincade and Salciunas. Johnny out today, Connor in for him. Andrew DeCecco in with us for the entire 8 o'clock hour. So how do you view Jalen Hurts compared to other quarterbacks in the NFL? I don't hide from it. Joe Burrow is probably my favorite quarterback in the NFL. He is. And I think he's one of the best. And I think he should get MVP votes this year because if his defense isn't dog doo-doo, they're a playoff team, right? But that doesn't mean I'm going to take away what Jalen Hurts has accomplished. So how do you view Hurts compared to other quarterbacks? I said it earlier today. I think he's his own entity at this point because he does. Connor and I broke this down. He doesn't have the arm of Josh Allen, the speed of Lamar Jackson, the crazy ability to do things like Patrick Mahomes does. But he does everything at a good level or like an above average level. Maybe not elite, but above average. And if you could do all those things and protect the football at an elite level, that's going to make you a dangerous quarterback.
He also has the poise and the will to win.
Yes.
And when you have somebody who's programmed with that kind of mindset that they're going to do whatever it takes to put their team in the best position, that's a lethal combination. Couple that with the running ability and the passing ability. Look, he can make every throw. He doesn't have the cannon of an arm like some of the other quarterbacks that you mentioned, but there's not much that he can't do on a football field. And I think that he has to be classified in a category of his own. I don't know that it's fair to classify him as the third best quarterback, the fifth best quarterback. That's all subjective anyway. He's a winner, and he has his team in the Super Bowl for the second time in 3 years. That doesn't happen by happenstance.
Yeah, it's like when you build the player in Madden. It's like Josh Allen might have 99 throw power, Lamar Jackson 99 agility, and Jalen Hurts is just like 85s across the board,
right.
And all of a sudden he's the 99 overall player because when you create proficiencies in every aspect of the game, you don't have to be elite at any of them. You just have to handle your business the way that you're supposed to, and the sum of the parts of Jalen Hurts' game can be greater than guys that have elite skill sets.
Yeah, I think that's very well put, and I think you're seeing right now the impact that Jalen Hurts has. When I was going through yesterday on the Birds Insider Report, my team MVP, obviously a lot of folks are going to be like, well, that's easy. That's Saquon.
Yeah.
Well, no, because you take Jalen Hurts off the Philadelphia Eagles, and teams play the Eagles a lot differently. I think that teams have to account for Jalen Hurts being the plus one, being the triple threat that he is, and it also unlocks the full potential of the running game. So for those reasons, I think he's the team MVP, and because he's such a unique player.
Yeah, I mean, just think about all the talking points we had last week. Is the knee okay? And if it's not okay, what does that do for the offense? How does that impact Saquon Barkley? All right, my bad.
Hey, guys, Andrew Salciunas from Kincade and Salciunas. Thank you for checking out all of our stuff on YouTube. Make sure you click, like, subscribe on everything that you see. And, of course, you can see everything from our YouTube feed, full shows, interviews, when John's being an idiot, which is like 15 times a day. So make sure you check out all of our stuff on YouTube. We appreciate it.